Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Or should it be good morning, good afternoon, and good evening? Welcome to the Radical World Cup America Series Round 2 live from Interlagos. I am James Parfitt, and I'm going to be bringing you all the action this evening live to your screens, broadcast live on the JPB YouTube channel, and of course using iRacing, the world's premier simulator. Don't forget, guys, as well, if you are here, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the bells for notifications, and don't forget to give the video a big old thumbs up. That will be absolutely amazing. So let's get into the track. So this flyby brought to us by the Sim Racing community. Check them out on Sim Racing Community, www.simracingcommunity.com. So we are here in Sao Paulo, 10 left, 4 right, and opened in 1948. Held such events as the F1, the Stock Car Brazil, TCR South America, WEC, and the F3000. Current track length 4.309 kilometers, 2.677 miles for us European people. And we're racing on the 5th variant of this track. That is right, there has been 5 variants of the Sao Paulo circuit, and the original one opened up at 7.8 kilometers and was absolutely massive. But this one has only got 4.309 kilometers this evening. And what more can you ask for than an iconic circuit like Sao Paulo to provide you all the action this evening? So there we go, guys, and don't forget as well, after last week's amazing race in Okayama, where Diego Zuccarelli took the AM victory and Lucas Vieira took the pros, we are going to be in for an absolutely epic evening. We've got AMs and pros on track together. The pros are in the yellow, the AMs are in the blue. So welcome in if you are here in chat. Joachim Kiyode as well, welcome in, much love to you. Stephen Place, thank you so much. Ivan Bramer for joining us as well. Both of these guys are should be on track. So, you know, what are you doing in chat? Hello? So Joachim there probably should be asleep by now as well, but he's kindly awake and sitting here watching us, probably with a beer in his hand and just chilling out in Norway. So Joachim, thank you so much for joining us. And it's very ungodly welcoming hour in the morning here, and you've come and joined us. So that's absolutely amazing. Current lap times, we've got Lucas Vieira on a 1:27.6, Foreigners Arabian on a 1:27.69. Top pro at the moment is Johan Moncada, who is on a 1:28.02. So he's definitely quick in the AMS section, but is also up there on the leaderboard, currently in 3rd place. So maybe there might be some movements about on his position if he goes on and keeps doing times along that line. Oh, as we see Charles Krasick there just going too hot into turn 1, hit on the brakes, and he goes. That's Savannah Gevorgian straight into the side of him there as well. We've got 3 minutes left of practice before we go into qualifying, okay? So don't forget to stay tuned and keep your eyes out for your favorite drivers. Now, after the AMs that we had this evening as well, we didn't think there was going to be any competition for that race because it was absolutely amazing. Well, the pros got on track, and let's just say they absolutely smashed it. If you have not gone back and watched the pros race yet, please do so from the European Series, because I trust you, and I will guarantee it will be the best race you have ever watched. It was absolutely epic. So we've got 10 minutes of lone qualifying and then a 30-minute race. Fixed setup, race start is a standing start. There will be no regulation pit stops. Fast repairs will be 1, and a drive-through penalty for every 15 incidents, okay? The car itself is the SR10, obviously, as we can see here. And then we've got the finals of the World Cup itself will be the Pro Final, which will be the European Group Pros versus the American Group Pro top 5, and then the AMs will be the European Group AMs top 10 versus the American Group top 5, and that will take place in 2 races in one night. So that will be 4 races in one evening. Relegation and promotion, bottom 5 of Group A of the European Championships and the bottom 3 of Group A Pros, this is, of the Americans, will be relegated. Top 5 Group B AMs for the European, top 3 Group B AMs for the Americans will be promoted. So be aware, they will be a promotion as well. Point system as well, scoring is 50 points for the victor, all the way down to 20th, where you still get 1 point. So every one of these drivers should score points this evening. Pole position is get a point, and the fastest lap as well. So we are here at the Interlagos, and next week we're going on to Le Mans. Week after, we've got Watkins Glen on October the 14th, 28th is Fuji International Speedway. November the 4th will be Road America. November the 11th will be Autodrome Nacional Monza. And then we'll round out the first half of the season at Canadian Tire Motorsport on the 18th of November. So it's got a whole load of racing coming up for you, and you need to be in it to watch it, because some of these races so far have been absolutely incredible, and I don't see this one being any different. We've got 14 cars on track currently as well, so that's good. And the likes of Stephen Place, Florence Arabian, Lucas Vieira, Johan Moncado, Eric Harmon as well, Mateus Moraes and Diego Zuccarelli. Ivan Bramer has joined us in the pros. Now he's obviously in the Europeans, and he's come over into the pros in the Americas series tonight. So there is Ivan. Now Ivan has had a bit of an up and down practice. I've been sat here watching it for a little bit, and he's been going up and down. And I'll say he's been going up and down because Ivan did venture off and cut the grass earlier on, saving the guys at the Sao Paulo circuit a job. Ivan decided to go and do it for them. So that was coming out of Juncao, the last corner. So he's going to have to be a little bit more careful, because clearly Juncao, caught him out a little bit, but I'm sure Ivan will come back even stronger. He's done enough laps of this track to know his way around. So we are going into qualifying shortly, but what we'll do in the meantime, while these guys get their outlap out of the way, we will show you the current championship standings. In the pros, we have got Lucas Vieira taking the lead with 51 points. Florence Arabian in second on 45. Eric Harmon in third on 40. Dave Gerard in fourth on 39. And we've got Michael Garrimine on 33. Avanis Tavosian on 31. Stephen Place on 29. Andrew Parente on 13. And Mateus Moraes, who's just joined us this evening, is down in 0 points as of yet. In the AMs, we've got Diego Zuccarelli is in first place on 35. Then Kevin Norton in second on 27. Richard Quinn in third on 25. Earl Lateral on 21. Charles Krasik in fifth on 19. Johan Moncada in sixth on 17. Chris Elson from Iridia Motorsports on 15. Warren Henry on 9 points. And then we got Mark Axelsen, who has failed to score currently at the moment. In the team championships, we've got 4 teams taking part in this. We've got Scudiera, Dinosaur Grasso is on 46. Overtake 26 is on 35. Team Redline on 29 and Iridium Motorsport on 15. So that rounds out the current state of affairs this evening, guys, as well, with all of these drivers and teams on track. So don't forget to sit back, relax, grab a drink, get some popcorn or coffee if you're trying to wake up, and we will be green very, very shortly. 8 minutes 30 on the clock, so we are going to be starting fastest laps very soon, and Lucas Vieira looks like he's going to be on the opening man to give us the time. All the times will flicker up on the bottom of your screen, so you will be able to see green is obviously their best sector time. Purple is their best sector time overall, and then obviously yellow will be there's no improvement, so we'll keep an eye on it as they go through the order. These guys are all starting their fastest laps now, so there we go. But if you are here, just give us a shout, let us know, and we can have a chat and have a talk as well why we do this absolutely epic series. And I think you've got to admit the series itself has really taken off and it's been really quite incredible so far, and I think it's going to be a different format to what people expect come the final. The relegation and promotion is really spicing up as well, because people are a bit like, oh, I want to score points because I need to get out of here, and they want to win and do this. And at the moment, you know, there's people in the bottom zones, there's people in the top zones, and yeah, we really want to get sort of a little bit up the order, shall we say. So currently in the European Series, the list is out. So we got Tejo Zetterberg is in from the pros. This is Tejo Zetterberg, Nia Gluskic, Paul Crabb, John Aldridge, Marnik Heister, and Mathiasson are all in danger of relegation. So those guys are going to have to really buck up their ideas. In the AM standings for promotion, you got Hugh Simpkins, Graham Brown, Robert Williams, Damien G, and Paul LeMay currently as well. But there is only 3 points between Paul LeMay and 6th place Sandro Capella, who could possibly take the positions away. So we'll keep an eye on that one as the season's been going on. But it's now time for the Americas. We will bring you up to date with their scoring, their standings next time out in Le Mans next week. So Fab in Arabia, Lucas Vieira currently on top on a 1:28.48. Purple in 3 sectors. Forenza Arabian taking purple in sector 3, and then sector 5 is purple by Richard Quinn from the AMS currently as well. So Richard Quinn grabbing a purple sector currently at the moment. So just keep an eye as this goes on. These cars are very, very slippery. So we will see what these guys can do. Hovannes Gevorgian is coming across the line as well. Let's see what lap time he has got under his belt for this first lap out in qualifying. He goes into 5th place on a 1:29.4. Can we dip into the 1:27s for practice? That will be interesting, and I think time will tell as it goes along. Lucas Vieira is setting another free green sector, so he's going quicker again than he was last time. Obviously currently sitting on pole on a 1:28.4. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to be looking at a 1:27 this evening. No lack of pace here, no, definitely not, Joachim, and I think that's going to make it really interesting because these guys are quite sort of within that same area. You know, there's only second between 1st and 7th place currently on the board, so it's going to be interesting to see what these guys will be able to produce here as their best lap times go on to the board. And see Lucas Vieira coming across the line on a 1:27.855. That's a quick time. What can Lorenzo Arabian do? Bremer goes into 3rd on a 1:28.866. Moncado's just been overtaken by Zuccarelli on a 1:28.9. Norton on a 1:29 as well. Harmon on a 1:29.334. Norton on a 1:29.332. Wow. 0.02 of a second between Norton. Oh, Harmon's just jumped up on a 1:28.741. So Harmon is definitely flying as well. So is Stephen Place. He's coming around the order. See what time he can put on the board. He hasn't got one currently, and he's not going to have one again. And I think that could be due to an off track there from Stephen Place. So hopefully he'll get one on board on his second run round to see how he does here. He's the only man really, along with Chris Elson from Meridian Motorsports, who's not set a time on the board, not set a fast time over the 2 laps basically on the board currently at the moment. So we're going to have to keep an eye on these guys as well. I think Place will come through and do an absolutely stunning lap. Forenza Arabian is currently green as well across the board. Faster than Lucas Vieira, so means he's going to be faster again as he comes around Juncao, going up to the hill, around Cafe, and then through Sabido the boxes, and then down into the bleachers. Now, there was a fancy name for the bleachers, Acromicadus, I believe it's called. This part here from the start entrance to the pits to round into turn 1 when we go into Curva Sol. So let's see what Florence Arabia can do. Goes into a 1:28.404. Quinn on a 1:28.89, and then we've got Norton on a 1:28.617. Nothing from Stephen Place at the moment. Let's see what he can get on the board. He's currently slower than his past sector times. He's got a green and 3 yellows. He might be able to get a time up, though. Let's hope he hasn't. No off tracks registering for him currently at the moment. So hopefully he'll be able to get a nice little buffer of a time on the board. And let's see what he can produce. Oh, 1:33.47. Mr. Place still down in last place, 4 seconds off the pace. Place is 4 seconds off the pace. It's a little bit of a surprise there. Unless he's going to be making moves all the way through the back of the order. It's going to be interesting to see. But Richard Quinn here is green as well across the first 3 sectors. Is he going to be green again across sector 4? We'll find out very, very shortly. We're going to be finding out. No, he's not. He's yellow. What can he do going into Juncao before he starts heading up the hill? Is he going to get this time that he's looking for? hugs the inside curve. He's got to go his hug at this wall as much as possible. Take the shortest route and then head directly left. That's what I would do. I wouldn't come out. You could add miles onto yourself there, buddy. He goes across the board on a 120. Oh. Richard Quinn on a 128.413. Wow. Stephen Place is not having a good time here. I don't know if he's just not finding his rhythm at this track. Chris Ellison jumps into 7th place at the moment. So there goes Chris as well. So he's doing okay, but Place is not. Place is not loving this circuit at Interlagos at the moment. I'm quite surprised by that. I thought he would have been a little bit more in there as he's got his Senna-esque helmet on. Stephen Place not improving. Maybe he's going to go from the back of grid. Now I do know he's under some medicinal, shall we say, products. Yeah, maybe he's going to struggle. But let's just see how he gets on. Young Stephen Place, 1:17 on the clock at the moment before we go into the final qualifying position, and let's see what sort of times it can get on the board. Diego Zaccarelli is still out on track currently at the moment, not setting the timetable alight. Chris Ellison, they've got 2 yellows and a green. Again, not really setting the timing boards alight as we would have thought. You know, we might have been able to get, you know, because the AMs are separating the pros here. We've got 4 AMs in the top 7, and then we've got a bunch of 3 pros, and then we go down the order again for another 3 in 8, 9, and 10. So the AMs are kind of really bringing it to the pros this evening, and hopefully they've all been out testing. But nobody is quite as close to Lucas Vieira as they want to be. That's it, directly left. See, Havana Shivorjian's got the idea. Chris Ellison, sorry, he's got the idea. Go directly left, innit? Hug that wall. Hug the wall. 21 seconds remaining here this evening in quali. That gives us a chance to have a quick look at the weather. What is the current weather standing to where we've gone forward in time? It's November 15th, 2022 at 6:19 in the morning. 24 degrees and partly cloudy. So there we go. At least we know the temperatures are not going to go soaring. Right, let's have a look at the grid for this round 2. Lucas Vieira in pole position. Forenz Arabian in 2nd. Havana Shivorjian in 3rd. Richard Quinn in 4th. Kevin Norton 5th. Joan Moncada in 6th. Chris Ellison in 7th. Mateus Moraes in 8th. Eric Harmon 9th. Ivan Bremer 10th. Diego Zuccarelli is down in 11th place. Charles Krasik in 12th, Warren Henry 13th, and Stephen Place in 14th position. Poor Stephen. Poor Stephen Place. Let's see what he can do from the back of the grid. Only way is up, right? Can't go back. So the only way is up, as we see Lucas Vieira on the screen currently as well. As we're heading down into turn 1. There is Lucas there. Just waiting for Charles Krasik to get out. He's got about a minute to get onto track, so there we go. 1 minute. There he is. Right, look out for the lights, guys, because we've got 30 minutes of epic racing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are go, 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 go here. And Chris Ellison got an absolute fire there near the back of the grid as well. I think it was Chris, or was it Kevin Norton may have got an absolute fly. Oh, big puff of smoke there on the way into turn 1. And that's not good. Lucas Vieira still out in front. Forenz Arabian in 2nd. Kevin Norton is having a little bit of a battle here. Norton in the black car on the left-hand side of your screen. He has got Richard Quinn in front of us and Joan Moncada. Quinn's going to go down another position here. He's really going to have to get a little bit of a shimmy on, as these middle of these packs are really trying to eat him up. And Kevin Norton is just going down the order bit by bit, and he really needs to get that Radical up and running, because at the moment he's losing positions He's down one already. Is he going to lose another one? As we can see, Ivan Bremer and Moreira sort of climbing all over him at the moment as well. So he's going to have to be careful here, otherwise he's going to be going sliding down the order. So the gainers so far at this beginning of this race are Moncada up 2, Moreira's 1, Bremer 2, Zuccarelli 2, and Place has moved up 4 positions. Quinn and Norton have both lost positions at the moment, so hopefully they will get that back as the race goes on. Going into Junção, we have got Lucas Vieira out in front at the moment by 0.85 of a second, followed by Florenz Arabian, Havana Shivorgian, and then we got this little battle with João Moncada, Richard Quinn, Kevin Norton, and Moraes as well, and Ivan Bremer, Diego Zuccarelli. There we go. Moraes has just got past Kevin Norton as well. Norton's left the door wide open, and unfortunately he's gone through. There was a car off the top and the track, and that could be Moraes. It is. He's coming back on with a vengeance. Whoa! Not the most sensible way to rejoin there. Eric Harman had to take evasive action, and it's put him off track as well. So Eric Harman there, from Who's the Boss Racing, had to take evasive action from the very far start-in. Mateus Moraes, probably not the best way to come back onto track. Now, I know he's on grass and it might be difficult, but he's got to keep his foot in a little bit. Ew. That could have been a lot more worse than it actually turned out for Moraes there, so he's going to have to be a little bit smart next time he rejoins. Richard Quinn, we've got Mercado in front and Norton behind him currently. So can Quinn make these places up? Ivan Bremer, of course, is racing from the Netherlands. Currently, I think it's a couple of hours ahead, isn't he, Joachim, at this moment in time? He's currently in 9th for Platinum Racing Team, chasing down Stephen Place, who's gained another position and is now up in 6th. So Place maybe not loving this track, and obviously sitting at the back of the grid. That's probably done him some good, I would have thought. 27 on the clock, coming into lap 3, and at the moment we've got Diego Zuccarelli being chased down by Stephen Place. How much longer can he hold him for? That's going to be the question, because Place is already looking to make this move past Zuccarelli. We've got Moncada in 4th, he's leading the AMs, and of course Vieira is leading the pros. So yeah, Vieira and Moncada are leading their classes respectively. So let's have a look. Charles Krasik is in the pits. He's just jumped to the pits. Don't seem to find a reason why he's jumped to the pits, apart from him just going into the pits. So Charles Krasik just going into the pits there. He has got a fast repair. So he is back out on track. Not quite sure what entirely happened there with Charles Krasik, but Bremer is chasing down Stephen Place currently. Oh, Place is sent it. Place has had enough. He sent it on Zuccarelli, decided enough was enough. I'm coming through. Stephen Place there making an absolute gap. He sent it on a FedEx truck, I'll tell you that much. He didn't put a stamp on it, he sent it airmail on a FedEx truck. So unbelievable by Stephen Place there. He's moving his way back through the order, and he's currently up 7 from where he initially started. He's now next person to take place is, of course, Kevin Norton, who is up the order. He's lost down 1 place to that as well. So Ivan Bremer is looking to come past Zuccarelli as they head around the start-finish straight now, up past the bleachers. And here we go. Can Ivan Bremer make this move into turn 1? He doesn't want to lose any more time. He's going to be looking at trying to get past Zuccarelli as much as he can, otherwise he is going to be dropping time. So Ivan Bremer's really got to try and tidy that up at the moment and trying to make a big old move where he's a little bit more sensible, because he needs to get closer to Zuccarelli. If he doesn't get closer to Zuccarelli, the pass is going to go. That's it. Gaps are opening up the front between Florenz Arabian and Havana Shivorgian. And unfortunately, that on the left-hand side was your leader, Lucas Vieira. So Lucas Vieira has been off track. Here we go. It didn't look like his rejoin was much to even talk about either. Oh, into Interlagos. Around he goes. I just want to keep this running and see what the rejoin was. Whoa! Yowzers! That was close, and that could have been a lot worse. Diego Zuccarelli has been taking an adventure off track as well, and has now dropped himself down into 12th place. Oh, he was helped on his way by Ivan Bremer. Ivan Brayman there helping out Zuccarelli just to see a bit of extra of the track that probably Zuccarelli didn't really want to see, Mr. Brayman, I'm not going to lie, and was helped on his way. Mercado now has got Richard Quinn behind him. Richard Quinn, I want to look at Richard Quinn's livery actually, because anybody that knows this car, knows this livery, will be able to tell me in chat what car is that from? Where is this original livery from? Because it is a SR10 livery, but it has also been on another car. So what car has had this previous livery? So there we go, a little bit of a challenge for you in chat to see if you can tell me what car has had that livery previously, as we see Joan Moncada go off, running a little bit offside. And now here comes Richard Quinn, car number 417, to try and catch up to Moncada, because the thing he wants to do, he wants to try and catch up. He doesn't want this gap extending at the moment. And you see it on the left-hand side, the gap is about half a second. He really needs to keep it below that. Stephen Place, however, is putting on a show at the moment. He's caught up to the back of Kevin Norton and is really on a gainer, because he's gained 8 places. So I think Stephen Place is going to be the man to keep an eye on at the moment. Florence Arabian has taken away the lead from all the way down here with Lucas Vieira. Lucas Vieira is coming his way back through, but unfortunately he's got Stephen Place who's also making moves. So yeah, he's going to have a tough challenge there to try and get past Stephen Place, the Canadian, because that's not going to be an easy feat by any short of the means. And 22 on clock left of this 30-minute race, and at the moment the man on the move is Stephen Place. Moncada, Quinn and Norton are all in a freeway, and Place is joining them as well, and so is Lucas Vieira. So this is going to be an interesting one to see how this one turns out at the moment, because there's going to be a strewn of cars here, all 2, 4, 5 of them with 4 more behind him, so they need to get a bit of a wriggle on. And Joan Moncada has taken another off track. That is currently 2 for Juan Moncada, so he needs to try and keep him under wraps at the moment. And Richard Quinn is in one of them difficult situations, because clearly, visually, Quinn is a bit more quicker than Moncada. And the trouble is, from Quinn's point of view, he's got Norton, Place and Vieira behind him. So, and they're not going to hang around. If they feel that they can get past, they will. So, you know, they're going to have to try, and Quinn's got to be really looking to try and make this move past Moncada, because otherwise he's just going to get eaten alive here. And not by Norton, I don't think. Currently Norton and Quinn doing round about the same times, 1:28.57. I think it's going to be Place and Vieira. Vieira just put in a 1:27.8. He's now taking the place back from Place. So there is Lucas Vieira, and he's chasing down Kevin Norton, who's trying to break the toe. Quinn's trying to make that move around past Moncada, and needs to get a better exit. He's not got that better exit, and I think that's going to where he's going to struggle on this run all the way down the Red Raposta, down into Interlagos at the end. However, Vieira is now making him move past Kevin Norton. Is this going to work out correctly? Hopefully Vieira is just going to send it and have done with it. He does. Job done by Lucas Vieira. So Vieira is recovering, is now back into 5th place. Well, there you go. What do we think so far of the action? If you are here, please hit that subscribe, turn on the bells, and don't forget to broadcast that big old thumbs up. Place. Dude, you're getting stuck here, mate. You need to send this in. Yes, there you go. Doors open, and Place is through on Norton. He needed to get that, really. Could not afford to let Vieira push out anymore. Vieira's current gap is about, what is at the moment, 8 tenths. So he needs to really try and close up, because otherwise he's going to be losing more time, and he doesn't want that to the ever-flying Brazilian that is currently Lucas Vieira in the Golf livery there, chasing down Richard Quinn. From what livery? What livery has Richard Quinn got on? It's a famous livery. It's been on other cars as well, but what car made it famous, and what livery is it? If you can tell me that down in the comment section below, after I will have a read and see who is right. But currently Lucas Vieira has just sent it on Richard Quinn, and job done. And I think Mercado's not going to be far away. Place, however, has dropped back. He's dropped back. He didn't really want to try and drop back, but he did. Chris Ellison is locked in with Moraes and also Ivan Bramer. Looks like Ellison's just got an absolute barnstorming of an exit out of the down through the Center S's and the Curva de Sol. Didn't kind of capitalize, which I'm surprised about, because he did look like he was going to fly past Moraes there as well. So maybe keep an eye on Ellison from Iridian Motorsport, Iridian Simsport there as well, and see how they get on. Ivan Bramer from Platinum Racing Team is trying to catch up to these guys, currently in 10th place. No gains, no losses. That's where he started from. So yeah, hopefully he will finish there as well. But Lucas Vieira and Juan Moncada, closest battle on track at the moment, 2 tenths. Separating at these two cars. Place has dropped back. So has Richard Quinn, to be fair. What can Moncada do? Can he take? Can he? I can't see him blocking Vieira, but he's got to be either going to be driving defensively or not, and he's not, because it's just not the move. It would be right against the wall. Yes, Vieira is quick, and you know, I've been in races where quick drivers and I've managed to defend for a very long time. But you've got to be looking at trying to put up an effort, because all Moncada's kind of done is drop himself back into Quinn, and that's not really where he wanted to go. He wanted to try and get Vieira into Quinn, and then Quinn into place, and so on down the order. As you all well know, in motorsports, that's how it works. Let's have a look at Foreign Arabian here. He's currently out in front, just going around doing his job. Nothing really major to see. He's got to basically keep it on track. As we've seen with Lucas Vieira, that can be a little bit difficult at times. So hopefully he will manage to keep this car on track and not cause himself any issues whatsoever. James says with bated breath, hoping that he will keep it on track now, because if he goes out, I'm going to be gutted for the man, because he's leading by an absolute country mile. So yeah, let's hope that he can keep it on track this evening. So back down into the middle of this place, Stephen Place is he's got past Kevin Norton now, and Stephen Place is now chasing down Richard Quinn. So Richard Quinn is next on the place list for Stephen Place here. See how he does. So the thing is, he's losing places to Vieira in front, and that's not really what he wants to kind of try and achieve. You know, he wants to kind of clear Quinn, go after Moncada, and be able to get Moncada at the same time. And talking about Juan Moncada, there he is in the Martini Delivery SR10, currently sitting at the tender age of 34. He's been sim racing for about 4 months, so that's not bad progress at all. Biggest inspiration in motorsport, he is obviously Ayrton Senna all the way through. Absolutely incredible driver, as we all know. Greatest achievements in real racing, sim or real life. I've only done sim racing for 4 months, and my biggest achievement so far is winning Division 4 in the Radical Challenge during the 3rd season of 2022, which was my first full season in iRacing. So blimey, he come in and got up to C licence, absolutely flying, clearly. In real life, my biggest accomplishments was qualifying 5th nationwide to participate in the 2013 Skip Barber Racing School Shootout, and earlier this year I earned my SCCA full competition licence, driving a Radical SR1. So Moncada is not only is a real life racing driver, he's obviously a sim racer as well, because his 4 months progression in sim racing is really benefiting him here, because he's sitting in 4th place with about a 2.5 second gap over the battling Stephen Place, Richard Quinn, Mateus Moraes, Kevin Norton, before they go jump down into Chris Elson, Zuccarelli, Harman and Bramer. So there we go. There is that battle, talking about it. There is Harmer, Zuccarelli, Elson and Bramer there as well. So Ivan Bramer is kind of, well, he's kind of under the cosh a little bit, I think would be the word here, because I think at the end of the day, he's obviously from the European Series. It's got some ungodly hour in the morning for him. Wanted to take part in the Americas, and is currently sitting down in 11th place. So not on, I don't think it's compared to where he was earlier on. Obviously, he started at the back of the grid. I think he moved up to 14th, I think, by the end of it. I will have a look back on that, because I'm sure it was round about that Ivan Bramer moved up for. So I'm going to have a nose. European Pro. That one. This one. Ivan Bramer. Where are you? I moved up to 15th from last on the grid, so that's not too bad. 15th place from last on the grid, moved up 5 places. That, of course, was taken by Daniel Sedgley, that race win. And as I say, I do highly recommend you go back and watch that, because they have been absolutely incredible. So these guys as well. And so is Stephen Place, up 9 places there this evening, with Moraes trying to have a go on the inside. Got to leave room, mate. Don't let that car drift out. Stephen Place taking up fast wide line. Got the his car up the inside of Moraes as they go up into the Ferradura. Place is fast in the first sector of this corner. Moraes is fast on the last bit as well. Oh, Place. Just let his car drift across the nose of Moraes, and Moraes didn't really have anywhere to go, but apart from sending it on the inside of Place now, that's jeopardised both of them. Norton said thank you very much, and so is Quinn. They're kind of in that 4 battle. I'm going to jump off Stephen Place for a minute, because he's just had a little bit of a blinking internet. Moraes not only jeopardised his entry and exit, he jeopardised Place's as well by sending the car in deep. But then again, I suppose if he needed to clear him, I would have possibly done the same thing. I've got to be honest. I did do that earlier on to somebody in an official race, and just basically sent it because I needed to clear them. They were very slow and very unpredictable. Oh! Here comes Norton. I don't think we're going to be able to get back to where that actually took place. Let's see if we can. Oh, that was just heavy braking from Norton, and literally just trying to avoid Moraes' car, I believe, in front then, so that could have been a lot worse. Unfortunately for Kevin Norton, he's all the way down the order now, so Moraes has got the ever-charging Stephen Place again to try and deal with him. So unfortunately for Moraes, he's, well, Norton made a mistake, but then you've replaced him with Stephen Place, so, you know, not ideal. Lucas Vieira has just passed Havana Shivorgian and has managed to close the gap, and this is how it took place. Ooh, that was a bit easy. That was into Pico de Pado before they dropped down into Mugello, but there you go. So, yeah, Shivorgian there didn't make it too difficult for Vieira. He's now just kind of got to try and stay ahead of Moncada. I don't know. Yeah, I think the art of racing is still they've got to be defended, and you know, it didn't look like there was much defence going on. But there you go. Back to the action. We've got Moraes, Place, Quinn here, and then we've got Harmon, Zuccarelli, Bramer, Norton, and Henry. So see how Richard Quinn is getting on in conjunction with his sector times at the moment. He's currently well, slower than Harmon behind, so he's going to have to be a little bit careful here, because he's currently slower than Harmon behind at the moment. Harmon is closing. How's he getting on into the front? Place is quicker by quite a considerable amount, so there we go. Keep an eye on that battle as it comes through. Sector times are going to be up here for Stephen Place and Moraes. Stephen Place, well, Moraes is faster in sector 2 and 3. Place is faster in sector 1. So can Place close that gap as we come around now with 9 minutes on the clock Firenze Arabian taking out the lead. He's currently by about 7 seconds at this moment in time. So Arabian is kind of looking like he's got this wrapped up, I would have thought, because at the end of the day, he's done a stellar job as Firenze Arabian. He's made his move, he's got past the guys in front, and away he has gone, and he's led all the way. Arabian, Vieira has come back through the field and managed to take second place, which is incredible considering his early spin from the lead he was in. But I think Arabian now realizes that he's got 8 minutes on the clock. You know, he's only got to keep him there for a little while. And he's got a good, what, 7.5 seconds, lap times 1:27.95. 1:27.86 is their best. Then we've got 1:28.6 and 1:28.27 was their last time around. Stephen Place is trying to get past Moraes here, and Moraes is not having any of it at the moment. Place is going to try and send it up the inside of Ferrador. It doesn't make it stick this time around. I'm thinking now, where is a place that he can send that SR10? And as we go into this Pinorino, Bigo de Pado, Mugello section, there really isn't anywhere. He's got to try and stay with him here and go and draft him on that start-finish straight. Get within about 7 tenths, and you're normally good to go. So hopefully Place can get that gap down and get within 7 tenths. He's got 6, 5. Kevin Norton, however, is just looking to clear Diego Zuccarelli. It's how they're going to play this one out as they come down the start-finish straight now. Norton on the right, Zuccarelli on the left. They're coming down into turn 1. Into the center S as they go. Who's going to be last on the brakes? Oh! Zuccarelli looks like he's looking for a better exit out of the S's as they start running down the Renault Aposta. Was on board with Zuccarelli. Place didn't make that move over Moraes, and I'm quite surprised about that. I thought that would have been done by now, but clearly not from Stephen Place. 7 minutes now left on the clock. And your current top 10 is Arabian in first, Lucas Vieira in second, Havana Shivozhin in third, Johan Moncado fourth, Mateus Moraes in fifth, Stephen Place in sixth, Richard Quinn seventh, Eric Harman eighth, Kevin Norton ninth, Diego Zuccarelli down in 10th. Current leaders got Arabian in the Pro, Moncado in the AMS. So Moncado doing an absolute stellar job there in the AMS, and he's currently sitting in 4th place as well, which is about 3.2 seconds up the road from the guys behind, which is Moraes and Place. So we've got an AM here in front. Moncado is in front of Moraes and Place on track and on merit, because he got an absolute barnstorming start. And as we heard after earlier on as well, he is a racing driver in real life. Got his license for the SR1. So he is good to go. He will be on track, I presume, in the SR1. Moraes from Brazil. This Brazilian has got Stephen Place from Calendar. Oh, no, 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 no. Chris Elson. Oh. Into the wall. What happened to Charles Krasik not long after this? Oh, is he going to spin out in Interlagos? This was literally a few seconds after. Let's have a look. It was further on. Oh, too much loud pedal there, but too much loud pedal. Zuccarelli has been off track as well, and Ivan Bremer. Oh, Bremer there. Zuccarelli managed to hold it, so that was always good. Bremer, however, has been cutting grass, apparently. Oh, turn 1. Ivan Bremer goes round in turn 1. That allowed Zuccarelli back through. So poor Ivan Bremer joined the series this evening. Didn't look like it was going well so far. Richard Quinn and Eric Harmon are having a battle here as well. So we've got a couple of battles left on track. Stephen Place and Moraes. I'll tell you what, Place has just got an absolute barnstorming exit out of the centre S's. Can he make this position hold? I kind of would be tucked in behind him if I was Place and not out on the left-hand side, because Moraes has got a free run. Oh. The way Place had positioned that car then, I thought he was going to be going through. Because at the end of the day, he had that run, and he didn't. The thing else I'm quite surprised about as well, he didn't back in behind him. He had half the straight, and he didn't go in behind him, which is a bit of a surprise, really. So let's bring you up the track map so we can see where the leader is currently on the board. Car number 1 is Florence Arabian going around Juncao on the right-hand side with 3:37 on the clock. Worrying about what Place is going to be able to do here. I can't really see him closing on the back of Moraes. He's got the gap down to 7/10. So he's picking up a little bit of a toe, but nothing that's going to make a massive difference on his life at the moment. And unfortunately, he needs to be a lot closer than where he is. Let's go on board with Place and see if he's got any issue. There's no problems there, is there, for him? He's full speed. He just can't seem to get. Whoa. Just can't seem to get near Moraes to really make a big impact on him. So yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on that one. And he's dropped back a little bit, so hopefully he'll be all right. Top speed-wise, 170 mile an hour for Arabian, 165 for Vieira, Gevorgian on 167, Moncada 164, Moraes 166, Place has done another 169 as well. So they are some good old quick lap times coming down. Place has now dropped back out to 9/10. Looks like Moncada here may look at being possibly promoted, maybe, if we're going to do a mid-season promotion, but that would be down to our boss and confidant Sandro Capella, who will decide on the situation here. I think it's a little bit doing 128.57s. Everybody behind him, fastest man on the track is doing 128. What's he doing? 128.87. Stephen Place doing 129.38, and Place knows the Radical SR10 like the absolute back of his hand. So maybe Moraes is showing us something here that we don't know about. So let's have a look. He broke so late then. Going up into Ferradura. Hugs that curb. As much as that curb on the inside of SA, and then going round Pinarina we go. Around Pico. Arabian has just taken the white flag at this time around, as will Mateus Moraes. There you go, Barney the flag bearer waving frantically there. So we've got Florence Arabian out in front by about 7.66 seconds, and I think that's the thing now. He's really just got to make it round. He's got barely, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'll give him 6 corners left before he takes this victory. 8th for 9th, Richard Quinn and Norton quite close together on the final lap. 12 cars, 13 cars on track at the moment. There's Charles Krasick, the last of our runners in 13th. Chris Ellison is unfortunately out after this little incident here. It looks like he was just on the slide out the corner. On the slide out the corner, and Eric Harmon just happened to be there. But here is your victory, victor of round 2 in the Americas Series, and that is Florence Arabian. Well done to you, young sir. Stunning drive after Lucas Vieira went off, and you've managed to take it back. Later is Lucas coming across the line in 2nd place. Havana Shivorgian is in 3rd. Juan Moncado comes across the line in 4th. Sorry, Mateus Moraes comes across the line in 5th. Stephen Place in 6th. Eric Harmon in 7th. Richard Quinn 8th. Eric Norton 9th. Diego Zuccarelli 10th. Ivan Bramer, somewhat disappointing 11th. Warren Henry in 12th place. Doesn't see much of Warren. He's got a stunning livery, mind you. Let's have a look at it. It's like that livery. It's a very nice livery. And then Charles Krasick will be the last one that's going to come across the line. Charles there is just heading round Juncal. So we'll follow Charles all the way through, and then we can bring you up the results when they come in. Right, Mr. Krasick. Well done, sir. All right, guys, here are the results for round 2. At Interlagos, got Florence Arabian in 1st, Lucas Vieira in 2nd, Havana Shivorgian in 3rd, Juan Moncada in 4th, Mateus Moraes in 5th, Stephen Place 6th, Eric Harmon 7th, Richard Quinn 8th, Kevin Norton 9th, Diego Zuccarelli 10th, Ivan Bramer 11th, Warren Henry 12th, Charles Krasick 13th, and Chris Ellison down in 14th place. Let's bring in your victor to this evening. Florence Arabian has joined me in the booth. Florence, how are you?
I'm doing great, James.
That was nice and easy, wasn't it? Sunday drive.
Yeah, time attack. Just trying to look at my splits and trying to keep it up as often as possible.
Yeah, it's always good when you can keep up the pace all the way through the race. I don't really know what to say, because you kind of, once Lucas went off, and we'll hear from Lucas in a minute, but once he went off, you were just kind of clear. And, you know, I'm sorry, we didn't see you much, because there was other battles going on, because you were just away. So is it harder being that far away than it is being in a battling pack?
You really need to have something to focus on. Like here, I use a split. I took it as a time attack and just trying to stay in the green or as close as possible. But yeah, for sure, seeing the number lowering from Lucas lap after lap and thinking ahead of, oh, will he catch me by the end of the race? That plays with your mind.
Yeah, and there wasn't a lot of difference between the times, to be fair. Your best time, 1:27.9. Lucas's 1:27.8. Last lap, 1:27.909 for you, which is understandable, and a 1:28.84. So, you know, the time wasn't really coming. It stayed around that 8 to 7 second mark once Lucas had made his way back through the field. So I think, to be fair, you're pretty much safe just doing your plodding around, saying plodding. I can't even get into the 1:28, so I don't know what I'm saying plodding for. You know, just doing your 1:28s. But we go on to Le Mans next week, young sir. What do you think? You know, you're going to have a double crack at it with the Europeans and the Americas. Do you think it's going to go well?
I have to get better on my starts. On the European, I screwed it up completely. But I'm curious how these cars chase on the straight and if we're going to hit the top speed limit.
Well, I'm sure you will, but well done, Florence Arabian, for your victory this evening. And we look forward to seeing you next week in Le Mans.
Thank you.
Right, there we go. Let's bring in Lucas Vieira into the booth this evening. Lucas, you are live. Please don't swear. How are you, young sir?
I'm fine, James. How about you?
I'm good, mate. Do you know what I mean? I'm surviving on coffee at, you know, it's about 2:37 in the morning. No,
it's late for you.
Yes, well, it's early morning for me, mate. It's just morning. I might as well not set my alarm, get out of bed in a couple of hours. Okay, leading, and then went round at the Interlagos corner.
Yeah, that was a bit too greedy for me. I was thinking I was trying to push to move away because I was on the 1 second gap. So if I have a bit more gap than that, so farmers don't have the draft behind me. So I was trying to push a little bit, and I checked too much curb. And then while I took too much curb, I also was holding too much brake, and I ended up spinning by myself. Also my fault.
Yeah.
It turns out it was fun. Try to get back through the mid pack, but it was also dangerous because I never know if some guy can kill you, try to fight with you. So I was a
Not
bit worried,
figuratively speaking, guys. He's not going to go and kill him in real life. It was out on the track. That's what
Exactly.
he meant. Yeah, not figuratively. Was going to come around and put a cap in him. But you know, what I mean, figuratively on the track. But I think the thing is, right? You dropped down to 6th place. You know, so you didn't plummet too far after your incident. You've got a bit of a gap back into 6th, but you made it way through the pack. Now, surely. You know, I was talking to Forens and he was just out in front and cruising and treating it like a time attack. Surely battling your way through the pack is a lot more exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely it is. But sometimes it's also fun being on the straight up front when you have someone behind pushing you to move each lap faster. So both ways are fun, but cruising your way on time attack is not really fun.
No, it's a little bit boring because you just have yourself to beat, and you know. That's no fun unless you've got a spinning radical SR10 coming randomly, or some guy trying to overshoot the first corner by about 1,000 yards. But look, we go on to Le Mans next week. How do you feel about Le Mans? We've had so many different mixed reactions this evening. 2 straights and a few wiggly corners we've had. We've had a drive fest. We've had no, I don't like it. We've had a couple say they do. What does Lucas Vieira think of Le Mans?
To be fair, I never raced in Le Mans on iRacing, only in other sims and games. But I look forward for it. I think it will be not much of a race like drive-by skill, but yes, who has a proper draft better.
Yeah, it
but,
is.
We will see. I think it will be a good race.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it might be as well. So let's hope for that as well. But Lucas Vieira, congratulations on battling your way through the field and back into 2nd place. And we'll see you next week at Le Mans.
See you next week, James. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so we have got the last interview of this evening is Juan Mercado. Juan, how are you? You are live. Please do not swear.
I won. Feeling good.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
I feel I've seen your pace this evening, right? And they've got you down in AMS. I feel that might change.
Hopefully at the end we'll see if I get promoted. But I just wanted to have a good race because last race was horrible. It was a nightmare. Had an early start and I just felt like I had to make up this week. So it all came together.
Well, 4th place and your overall AM victory. I think it definitely did come together for you, young sir. You know, nice. It was kind of almost not a simple race, because that's not really the word I'm looking for, but it was kind of a good race for you because you managed to get into your groove. There was gaps there as well from the front guys that were pushing further away. You had a bit of a gap to the guys in back. You know, did you feel comfortable in the SR10 around Interlagos?
Not at all. Especially towards the end, you start feeling like the back of the car you're gonna lose it, and so I was just trying to keep it together, make sure I wouldn't make any mistakes, and I did try to catch up the front guys, but it was, you know, they're in another league right now, so eventually I hope to get there.
Yeah, we will all get there. Well, you guys will get there. I'm in the booth, so I will just plod along at my own little fatherly old man pace to see when I get there, to be honest, mate. But look, you know, we got a bit of a long season, so you know you've got plenty of time to move up and move down as well. And I think at the end of the day, if you carry on doing what you did tonight, mate, I don't think you've got a lot to worry about with being promoted. I'll tell you that much.
I appreciate it, James. Thank you.
No worries. You take care, mate, and we will see you next week in Le Mans.
All right, see you next week.
Take care. Right, there you go, guys. That is the Americas Series done and dusted live from Interlagos from Brazil. Thank you so much for sitting here and watching me if you have been here. Joachim, welcome. Thank you so much for staying, mate. Go to bed. It's got to be late. Ivan Bramer as well. Good race and pace, these guys. Yeah, they did have as well. You finished down in 11th place, but I think me and you need to have a word or go to the headmaster's office for you. Go into John McHutchinson's headmaster's office. So there you go, guys. But as we come to the end of this evening's broadcast, you can, of course, go and watch back all the action from this evening from the AMS, the Pros and the European Series, and the American Series as well. And as you are watching live, please subscribe and give the video a big old thumbs up and turn on the bells for notifications, because we've got some unbelievable action coming up as well. And we're only on Friday, and we've got touring cars tomorrow night. What more can you ask for? And then we've got GT3s on Monday, MX5s on Tuesday, GT3s on Wednesday, back in the Radicals on Thursday and Friday, and then back into the touring cars on the Saturday. So we've got a very busy schedule lined up this week in the for the JPB YouTube channel. So turn on the bells, because you're not going to want to miss any of it. But guys, all that's left for me to say is, as per normal, you all take care, have a great week, and you never know, I might see you on the track sometime. Good night.